It's Wizard Wednesday. It's Wizard Wednesday. Black goat elf, Dotta puppet too. Bearsnake by the ocean blue. It's Wizard Wednesday. It's Wizard Wednesday. Kobolds and dream master sword. Putting their rune on the door. It's Wizard Wednesday forevermore. Wizard Wednesday, lore at the core. We are a cult with a world of our own, never forgotten or magic is known. It's Wizard Wednesday, it's Wizard Wednesday. Let's read from the book of lore, legendary wizards at the core. Don't get lost in the quantum shadow, abracadabra is our magical manifesto. Wednesday. Eat a donut, set your soul on fire. The sacred flame on a funeral pyre. The seventh gate with golden locks. The nightmare imp with a treat box. It's Wizard Wednesday. It's Wizard Wednesday.
That's right, it is Wizard Wednesday. Today is July 17th, 2024. As always, it's a good day to join a cult. Channeling in from the Quantum Downs, this is the Black Goat of the Wood, Elf J Trul, and I've got some friends on stage with me.
Hello, it's the Orange Puppet Dotta, and joining us are...
Your faithful marketing wizard, Entropy, or should I say Entwapy?
Entropy.
Little
Ooh.
Entropy.
Oh, Entropy.
And we got Tad Major up here as well.
your widow community, Tad Major.
It's an Ubu Wednesday, everybody.
Let's do the whole show in baby talk.
Maybe we can even get Cheetan in here.
Oh, that was the worst opening ever, guys. There's nothing worse than grown men doing baby talk.
Not proud of that one. Not proud of that one.
That's what happens when Bearsnake's not here.
Yeah. Yeah, he would have really kicked it up a notch, actually. Okay, let's try to move on from that. We have a big show today. I want to talk about this Rune effect that I think we've all been seeing. Something that I've just really enjoyed over the past week. I think we're going to talk about these Rune migration details that I think need to be just sort of talked about. And then we've got some cult questions, but I don't know. Should we start off with the Rune migration details, or what do you want to start with?
Let's give people a minute, because I'm not sure everybody's going to be here to hear what they need to hear. So let's,
Sure.
Maybe we could get some cult questions.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. All right. How about... Okay, Solo Pop has a good one. Solo Pop is asking, of all the cults in history, which is the one do you think you most likely would have been pulled into? I've got some answers on that one. Do you guys have any answers on that one?
What? All of them?
I mean,
Okay.
I think I'm in. This is the one. I think I waited around long enough. I dabbled in a few different opportunities, but this was the one that really stuck. So I think the Rune cult was the one for me all along.
Well, Tad, I would answer the same thing, but I think that's cheating the question. You can't say the one we're already in. You gotta.
Well, I'm the damn community manager. I can say this one if I want to.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna let Jitsi up here. Maybe he has a good answer. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say the cult of Dionysus. There were a lot of really great secret cults in ancient Greece, and the reason I would choose Dionysus is because that's the one where they all just got drunk and had orgies and danced in the woods, and that's just kind of my thing. It was basically like EDC, but 2,000 years ago. So I think that's the one I would have chosen.
I actually realized that I was part of a cult. I was a bit of a big rave kid for several years, and honestly, that was probably the closest thing that I had to it. But unfortunately, the dancing and the partying, the other people turned into some more hard things that I wasn't as interested in. So I had to exit that cult.
Yeah, I think everyone in the cult of Dionysus ended up the same way, Tad. So, um, but yeah, any other answers to that one, Inch P?
You know, I feel like I kind of got into the Dungeons and Dragons cult like
Okay.
early on, and it was a slow process, and it hasn't taken over my life incredibly. But yeah, I think that's the one I'd have to point towards.
Great. All right. I think between Dungeons and Dragons and the Cult of Dionysus, Forgotten Runes kind of blends all that together.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good midpoint.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. J Mander is asking, what is it? What have you been making on Twitter? I think he's referring to my Forgotten Media posts. If you guys haven't seen them, I've been doing this fun series on. I'm calling it Forgotten Media. So go look at my timeline. But yeah, I'll talk about what I'm trying to do with that. So this concept of forgotten media really just speaks to what it means to make a forgotten rune. So the history of the world and all of humanity's hopes and dreams it's all known to us through media, whether that's a scroll of papyrus or a cuneiform clay tablet or a modern book or a film or a painting or a photograph. But all of these mediums are ephemeral. They'll all degrade and disappear given enough time. The runes on them will be forgotten. And then related to this is the way technological advancement has been giving us these new mediums every few years, and then they quickly become obsolete. Mediums like VHS tapes and cassette tapes and 8-bit video game cartridges. These all of these mediums. What's interesting is now all these mediums are just like piling up in our garages and in our basements, and you can only get them on eBay, and most of us can't even read them, and yet there's really great content stored on them. You would need a VCR or a tape player or an old NES to actually see what's on them. So they become these relics that are sort of revered not only for the content on them, but their ability to just evoke nostalgia. And so what I'm doing is I'm playing with these old forms of forgotten media, and for me, like just looking at them, it really piques your curiosity. It makes you wonder what kind of content is on them. And it's content, again, you cannot see because we don't have the appropriate device to read them. And so this ability to make you wonder about what's on them, I think that is what's magical. That's the quality of making a person wonder is what's magical. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do with those. Just a fun thing. Okay. Let's see what else. Bill Gaines wants to know who would win in an arm wrestling match, Jiho or Bearsnake. Bearsnake is not here to answer. And I've never seen Jiho in real life.
Yeah, I've never seen Jiho like in person, so I'm not really sure actually. I know he's got a high level of physical fitness, so it could be a competition.
I'm gonna say Bearsnake, because Bearsnake beat me, so he must be able to just beat everyone.
Right. He's pretty big.
Dotta, by the way, I want to know like when you're going to enter the arm wrestling ring, because I feel like you might be a dark horse in this arena. You might just come out of nowhere.
I'm short though. You guys have like 6 inches on me, both. So it's like I feel. I don't know.
We'll give you an apple box to stand on.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So way I can reach the table.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we got you, Jits. What up?
Dude, I don't know. Elf said EDC and everything crashed on my side using that voodoo.
I'm not using any voodoo on you, Jitsi, I promise.
Yeah, okay, it's working now. We're back.
Okay.
I mean, I'll chime in and I'll say that there's something weird in the air this past week. Technical problems abound. This platform in particular has caused me so much grief. But you know what? We're working through it because we got wizard magic and they will never touch us.
The wizard magic overcomes the quantum shadow for sure. Okay. Taro, Lucas Spitaro, who is a cult member who has returned. He's got a question. How did you get started into pixel art? So yeah, we've talked about this before, but I'm happy to go over it again. The reason we chose pixel art for this project is, speaking of making people wonder, I feel like pixel art does that really well. Unlike really high-res art forms, pixel art, its low-res format makes your imagination like fill in all the blanks of the details that are not there. And that's what I think it does best. Just look at any given wizard on OpenSea and then look at all the derivative artwork that people have made from it. The pixel art is a rune in itself. It's this simple pictogram that makes you extrapolate larger, more complex ideas. I think pixel art was just this perfect medium to ignite the imagination, and that's why we chose it. And as far as when I first got into it, Forgotten Runes is when I first got into it. I taught myself to do pixel art just for this collection. I think that's actually all the cult questions. Let's talk about the Ronin effect and the Ronin migration. Which one you guys want to hit first?
Yeah, we can talk about the Ronin effect. I mean, I think it's been really incredible to see the outpouring of support that we've had from the Ronin community over this past week. I mean, I think like one of the things I think is very interesting about crypto in general is the fact that you have these communities that don't really have a lot of overlap exactly, right? When you think about kind of the people who traded like NFTs in the early days versus people that are trading meme coins now versus people on Ronin or people who trade, kind of high end art NFTs or like, there's a whole group of people who are using like Tron and the Ton token, right? Sorry, not Tron. I mean Telegram and the Ton token. And I think the Ronin effect. We knew that it was a separate group than kind of like the ETH mainnet folks, but at the same time, it's one of those things you have to see it to really believe it. Just like how there's this enormous number of people that like once you move to Ronin, they kind of become aware of your project. And I think, well, that's really kind of like the essence of the Ronin effect, right? You have this like massive positive impact on the project by like interacting, kind of like merging our community with another existing community.
Yeah. But before we announced, I had heard the phrase Ronin effect, and I didn't really register what it meant. I thought it was just, it's just a pithy marketing quote that people say. But no, it is a real thing. And I think we've all seen it, from like all the new members who are in the Secret Tower Discord to all the awesome threads that we've seen on Twitter about the game, to video content. The floor on the rings went way up. And all of this has just made me really bullish on the game. I mean, I was bullish on the game before this whole Ronin effect, but now I'm megable. And it's not just the Ronin effect. It's that the first build, it was just so fun. And everybody thought it wasn't just the team. Like everybody thought that first build was so fun. Like I was obsessed with the game for a week. And then it makes me think, the next build is going to be even better because there's improvements on what was there, plus a bunch of new features. And you pair that with the Ronin effect. I mean, this game, I'm just so freaking excited about it.
I think another thing that I've really, really loved is just how great the Ronin community has been,
Yes.
right? Like, um, not to name any names, but right, we've had influxes of people into our community. Like a whole group of people show
Yeah.
up, and all of a sudden it's like oil and water. And we're like, these people are not our
Yeah.
people. Like, how did we open the floodgates to this like demographic, or like not demographic, but like segment of people? And 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 with Ronan, it's been the exact opposite, right? Like, how many people have joined the cult over the past? Has it only been a week, or 2 weeks? That just like completely fall in with like what we're doing. They're writing lore. They're like telling stories, coming to Wizard Wednesday, like participating in the chat. It's just like the culture fit has been just so symbiotic, and I've really been thrilled with how smooth actually like the merging has gone.
I couldn't
I
agree more.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
It's been really interesting to see a group come in, and we're definitely like not starting from zero. They're already really aligned with the things that we're doing. They understand and see the vision. They're excited about the things that are coming, and I really love that so much of the crypto space. I feel like inherently falls into like this PvP realm where it's our project's better than yours, or we're the best project, and I just haven't felt that energy. I've felt like a lot of people truly looking for like a collaborative opportunity to like expand their network, to work with new people. I've met so many people in the Discord in the last couple of weeks, and they're all so helpful and friendly. And I'm openly very ignorant of the Ronin ecosystem until now, and there's been like a dozen people that have offered to like help guide me on my way and help me get set up or help answer questions. And no, it's a tremendous boost to what we have. I really expected there to be a bit more lag of us having to kind of get them up to speed, or getting them excited about what we're doing, but it's no, they're already there. They're already like our people. So it's been amazing. I'm all for the Ronin effect.
And I've also been just incredibly impressed, thankful to the Sky Mavis team as well, who's really jumped in with both feet. I mean, you've seen them do an incredible job at promoting Forgotten Runes. Like, we were like immediately kind of part of the family. They're buying up the assets. They're joining the community. They're talking about it. They've done a great job. And one of the reasons why I'm so excited to be a part of Ronin is they're working really hard to be the best gaming chain in all of Web3, and they're like right now Ronin is a powerhouse, and like everyone sees them and kind of like recognizes, is like starting to recognize their dominant position as like the dominant gaming chain. I would say that, like, I don't know if the team would agree with if their team would agree to this characterization, but I'll just say it, and they can tell me what they think. But I feel that like there's a symbiosis in like not symbiosis, but like an overlap in kind of like an underdog mentality, something like this. Like, it's my impression that there was a time period where Ronin was out executing and then was being under recognized by mainstream crypto Twitter. That they sort of felt like, oh, our games have more users, we have like more players, we're launching better quality, like we're shipping so hard, but then somehow like the mainstream crypto Twitter is not kind of giving us the props relative to like the degree that we're shipping. And and that kind of mentality of feeling like, man, we're doing it, we're killing it, we're shipping, we're outpacing everyone else. Like, what's it going to take for us to kind of get everyone's attention and like the recognition and for the level that we're at? That's like completely a feeling that we have had, at times along the years. And so I think that, like, but what they basically do is they don't take that and say, and complain about it. What they do is they use that as kind of fuel to like be even better, work harder, like ship better, get the best games, market better, talk about what you're doing better. And that's exactly been kind of our attitude too, is like, well, there's no point going to the tweets to kind of complain about how unfair it is. What you just do is you outlast everyone. You continue to ship. You're so good they can't ignore you. So I think that like that sort of like that little bit of drive, that drive of like almost like almost having a chip on your shoulder and using that to like fuel great work, I think is something that is alignment between kind of our team and from my perspective, Ronan's team
I
too.
really couldn't agree with that more, Dotta. I think that's such a good point. And am I echoing a little?
No, you're good.
No, you're fine for
Okay.
me.
Yeah, I just wanted to add as well, like, you know, I've been on the account's front line seeing all of the sentiment coming through from the Ronin community, and I absolutely echo every word that was said here. Sky Mavis team in particular, I think they were very much like Forgotten Runes, forged in that exact situation that you called attention to, and it's made them so much stronger for it too. I also want to just take a quick second and recognize that there are some people in our community who have felt and, you know, are anticipating a little bit of friction with moving from the previous setup over to Ronin. There are things that are involved. You know, you may have to open a new Ronin wallet in order to trade your assets, but we've really done this as simple and easy as possible for everybody. And if this is a metric that helps highlight how valuable this move is, I don't mean to speak ill of any previous arrangements, but I discovered that the previous chain that we were using was not even following our social media accounts. Meanwhile, Sky Mavis and their team has showed up and all personally reposted and given so much love and support to everything that we've put out. And they helped us get, I think we're at over 2.5 million impressions on the original announcement partnership post with them. That is impactful and so cool to see.
100%. Yeah, they've been just really amazing in terms of their kind of actions of support, but also in the outcomes of the metrics. By the way, I actually was starting to hear your echo. So, yeah.
Sorry, I'm juggling like 6 devices. I'll shut one off.
Yeah. Sorry, Meadow, you were going to say something. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, I agree with everything everybody's been saying. Like, you've had such great support. I think that one thing that also goes a little bit underrated on the Ronin side is that their strategy to handpick and kind of curate the games that appear on their network, right? I think that's it's shown to be a very great strategy in terms of making sure that there's like the least amount of noise in terms of like what projects to look at for Ronin, right? Because it's like they are hand selecting the project that they think would be great for the ecosystem and kind of filling out what areas of the ecosystem they feel like they need more. So like, you know, they were saying just before we kind of like, while we had the deal, like, you know, pretty much confirmed but not publicly confirmed, they were kind of like putting out feelers out there like, hey, it would be great if we had like an MMORPG, right? And it's like, hey, you know, they decided to bring some MMORPGs to the chain, you know, and I feel like that strategy works really well for both of us. Like, it's very mutual beneficial, right? Because it makes sure that people who are on the Ronin chain, they know that whatever is handpicked from Ronin, it meets a certain standard of quality. And it also makes sure that you know, us as you know, developers and as publishers putting our games on their platform, you know, we can trust that we have their more direct support, and that we can trust more that the gamers that come feel like they know what to, like, you know, what to expect from what we have. And so it's been just so great dealing with Sky Mavis team and dealing with the Ronin community. And you've had such a great testament to how well they have been kind of like helping us out with this marketing, is that, you know, the materials that they've been putting out, the threads that the Ronin community have been putting out have been such great explainers of our ecosystem. They've been such a great explainer for like introduction to what the game is, like the key points for like our gameplay loops and such. And like it feels like every day like I'm going through and there's like multiple threads I can retweet, and it's like I don't even want to like flood like all like the entire timeline with just all these perfect retweets, but like it's just so good the amount of information that they're putting out there that we didn't even expect to be put out there for us. So just overall really good. I like their strategy. The community is great, and I think that it's going to have a wonderful impact for not only for the game, but just for the Forgotten Runes ecosystem in general. There's a lot of people who are genuinely enjoying joining the cult with the same, you know, mentality in mind, that they want to continue building with it, not just, you know, kind of join in for, you know, to see what's going in for, like, you know, they don't want to miss the next wave. they legitimately just want to join in because they enjoy what we were doing here. So very good fresh air.
Jitsi, give me your take on the Ronin effect.
I think something really special happens when you have a group of people in the thousands that are here for the right reasons around specific genres in crypto, gaming being one of them, right? It's one of the reasons why I've wanted to hover and like figured out what Rona was about. It's one of the reasons why the product was successful. I just think that as this scene grows, you're going to remember which tribes were pushing gaming forward. I think we were at like a lesser degree, and Rona was full blast, metal to the floor, going with gaming. Right? Everyone talks about like what chain and why you should go to particular chains. I think the number one reason is because the community that's already established there, and Ronan's proving to be the best in the business right now, and they continue to be so. I think so. I have no idea at what point we even rugged. I was just talking until my third monitor showed me that we were rugged.
Oh, good, man. Well, yeah, Jitsi, you made me think of something actually that I've noticed lately, which is, at the height of the last NFT bull run, crypto gaming was a big topic of discussion, and then during the bear market, of course, all the haters who do not understand how long it takes to make a game were saying things like, "Oh, whatever happened to crypto gaming? Thought that was going to be a thing. Guess not, losers." And and of course, it's like people who are, like I said, who are just ignorant of how long it takes to make a game. But I've noticed a market shift now in that discussion. I feel like I'm starting to see people come back around and be like, "Wow, crypto gaming it's actually looking interesting and exciting again." And yeah, I mean, I think Ronin is actually a big part of that discussion. I think our game is going to be one of those flagship crypto games that are really going to reignite the whole interest and discussion in crypto gaming again. So that's another reason I'm bullish.
And I also think that like, let's see, there's an unformed thought. The meme coin, the fact that everyone's quote unquote in crypto ran to meme coins means that like is actually been good for builders, because I would say like for us in our discussion, there's this question of like, you have this question, do we actually want to appeal to Web3 people first? Like, what do we have to win crypto Twitter? Is crypto Twitter our like ultimate aim here? And it's like, well, of course we want the cult to be happy, right? There's no sort of like world in which the Web3 holders are kind of ignored. Like, we're not talking about making like a pure IP play where we say, like maybe some of the other NFT projects in our cohort where they're like, we don't care about the NFTs. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying like, is the goal to attract Web3? And it's like, no, the goal is actually to attract like people who like to play games, right? Let's call them even like Web2, for example. The goal is to be not just a popular game, like a popular Web3 game, but just a popular game in general. That you're and there's this almost kind of like disconnect of saying like we don't actually have to appeal to just like crypto Twitter, because all crypto Twitter wants is pure speculation to trade on meme coins in this moment. What we actually want is to build a game that is so fun Web 2 people want to play it on their phone, and then when they find out that the things that you own can be put on chain and sold for like real money on this kind of marketplace, then we convert them actually to a new like generation of Web3 user, I think. This idea around like Web3 gaming being a narrative, part of it is just this massive opportunity that we have for onboarding a whole new group of people.
And I think the Ronin chain is obviously just such a good choice to be able to onboard those people. I actually set my wallet up today. It was so easy. It was probably one of the easiest setups. I bought some RON. You have gas-free transactions to get started. I was able to do staking. I mean, all of it was done in 10 minutes. And I set it up with this a seed phrase because that's what I'm familiar with. But being able to connect it to your Apple account or your Google account and have different options for people that have varying levels of comfort with Web3 world, I think the onboarding process is so much easier than I'd even envisioned.
Yep. Okay, Dotta or Matto or somebody. Do you guys want to talk about? Speaking of the setup, the whole migration thing. Oh wait, Matto's trying to come up.
Yeah. Let's bring Matto up and he can talk about it. Matto and Entropy.
Yeah, Matto, are you? Did you hear what I said, Matto? You're trying to come up.
Yeah, are you able to hear me?
Yep, we got you.
Okay, just give me one moment. Sorry. After the
Sure.
space is rugged, I wasn't able to hear anybody. I was like, oh no, I had to join like 3 times.
Oh no, I hate when that happens. It's the worst.
Yeah.
It's very much
Give me
the scene from Interstellar when he's behind the bookcase just slamming on the wall. Let me out.
That's a good comparison.
Okay, yeah. So, regarding the Ronin migration, so as everybody should be aware by now, hopefully, if you're in the spaces, if you did not know, we are migrating our Forgotten Runeverse assets to Ronin. This only includes the game assets, right? Wizards, Warriors, all the Forgotten Runes assets. Those are all staying where they are. But the game assets, so that includes the Watcher's Rings, the Quantum Gifts, and the plots of land, which, if by the way, if you earned land from your last gameplay last year, don't worry about it. That's tied onto your account, so you don't have to worry about the migration for it. But for the quantum gifts and for the rings, those are being migrated to Ronin, and those are being done via a snapshot. And so the snapshot is later today. It's about an hour after this Wizard Wednesday. So Wizard Wednesday ends in about an hour, is about half an hour, probably, maybe a little longer. So expected about an hour after that, right? And so when that happens, we're going to have a snapshot that's going to take a picture of all of the holders that have rings and quantum gifts, and they will be rewarded on the Ronin chain. They will be credited on the Ronin chain with whatever they're holding. So there's 2 different camps. If you hold a ring, your Ronin address that ring is on will get airdropped the ring. So it will appear on your same wallet address, just on the Ronin side of the chain. Now, the ring that you currently have, it will be updated with new metadata to show that it is a depreciated asset. So it's not going to be used anymore. We're going to turn off trading on it on the major marketplaces before the snapshots. That way we don't have anybody accidentally dumping rings into each other. Please try to your best to avoid trading close to the snapshot period. I would advise against it, right? And for quantum gifts, we are unfortunately unable to turn off trading on those. So that's perhaps more important. Please, everybody, remove all your bids on quantum gifts and on rings too, just to be sure. If you have any open bids open for the rings or quantum gifts on any marketplaces, please take those down. And so what's going to happen is the rings are going to get airdropped, but the gifts are actually going to be credited to your Ronin account. To your Runeverse account on the Ronin chain. So you'll just have to remint those again on Ronin when you log in, because it's going to be whatever account is tied to your wallet address is going to be the account that's credited. And the gas on Ronin is really cheap. It's like probably less than a cent, I think, for minting all these. So it shouldn't. So you should be able to mint them very frictionlessly back onto Ronin. And then once they're on Ronin, you're free to use it. You're free to mint them or just keep them to your account. And so because there's these 2 different methods, there's these 2 different camps. We know it can get a little confusing. We're going to put out soon a flowchart that kind of explains it a little bit better. But, feel free if you have any questions or concerns about it, we're here to help you. And I think the biggest thing to understand is that you will not lose your assets. If you do no actions, you will be fine. We'll be able to help you out later. The only key point to keep in mind is if they are in a multi-sig, please remove them out of that multi-sig. Even in the case if they are in a multi-sig wallet, we'll be able to help you out later. It's just going to be a bit difficult, right? But please, if they're in multi-sig, within the next half hour if possible, migrate them to a wallet that you have actual control over, and then you're free to move them to multi-sig when you're back on Ronin, because multi-sig, the safe is actually deployed on Ronin, so you can do it once you're on Ronin. But just to make the migration as easy as possible, I don't think there's that many users that affected. When we checked last time, there were very few users who had them in multi-sig, so it shouldn't be an issue for most people. But key takeaway is we want to make this as easy as possible. Please don't stress about it. If you do nothing before this airdrop, you will pretty much be very safe. There's no need to quickly move assets if you feel like you're comfortable with your current setup, and you'll be fine. So we're gonna put guides for migrating from Ronin and we're very excited for it. So just keep an eye out for it. We're gonna have more updates on when the snapshot actually happens.
Yeah. So everything that Matto said can be found in the pinned tweet at the top of the space here. And we'll also be following up with a really nice flow chart to help people navigate new Ronin wallet creation here shortly.
Okay, I have a question. Okay, I've got a quantum ring and like, I don't know, 4 or 5 quantum gifts sitting in an ETH wallet. You're going to snapshot those. And then you said they're going to be moved to your Runiverse account. Is that what you said?
Correct. And so on, just that way I have a point of to make sure everybody understands. It will be moved to the account that is connected to that wallet. So if you've connected previously with that wallet and from like the last build last year, it will be connected to that account. Now, if it is a wallet that has never been connected to an account, the first account that it's connected to will be credited those items. So if you're a new player and you bought them off secondary market, you're going to be covered too. As soon as you log in and connect your wallet to that account, that's the account that the gifts are going to be landing into.
Okay, here's where I'm confused, and I hope I don't add to the confusion. The original ETH wallet that I got those Runiverse game assets on, that's what's connected to the Runiverse account. So it's like it sounds to me like you're just depositing them in the same ETH wallet.
Correct. It should be the same address because your ETH wallet address is the same on Ronin. So our game is going to allow you to use MetaMask if you want to just collect straight with MetaMask. The MetaMask app actually supports the Ronin chain. So if you prefer to just simply use your same MetaMask setup for playing our game, you can just log in and you'll be able to connect your wallet with MetaMask. It'll connect to the Ronin chain and it'll read your Ronin assets as they are.
Okay, if I started a new Ronin wallet just the other day, can I eventually move these new assets out of the ETH wallet into the new Ronin wallet and attach my Runiverse account to that new Ronin wallet?
Right. That's actually a very good question. So I'm confirming with the devs, but I think currently unlinking wallets from your account is not possible. So you may have to create a new account to link that wallet to. Or your other option is you can trade those assets to your main wallet if you created a new wallet, however you want to consolidate, right? But the key takeaway is the wallet that is the account that wallet is attached to, that's the account that will be credited. Airdrops will happen regardless of whether you have a wallet account or whether you have an account, because that's just dropped to the account, like the account address. The wallet. Yeah.
Okay, so really, it sounds like we basically just don't need to do anything.
Correct. Yeah.
Mostly just be aware of what's happening.
In most cases, you do not need to do anything. That's why I've been trying to stress. Like in most cases, you don't need to stress out. In most cases, doing nothing is the correct answer. Even if you want a different setup later, like let's say perhaps you wanted to create a new wallet later and consolidate them differently, that can be done after the snapshot, right? There's no rush to do things before the snapshot. Like if you are confused at all, the best course of action is probably just to leave how you currently are, and we will handle you later. We can help you with a ticket and such. So,
okay, that makes sense. I get it.
Yep, and please avoid trading anytime near the snapshot. If you buy a quantum gift after the snapshot is done, unfortunately, we won't really be able to help you out. So please just don't buy anything like near that snapshot window.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, don't sell into bids. That's lame and mean.
That is mean.
We've figured out how to turn that off for the watchers rings, and that was the biggest issue because I think there's still like $100,000 worth of bids there. But still, there are probably some bids on quantum gifts. So, like, if you sell into a bid on a quantum gift after it's been like snapshot deprecated, then you're not gonna get it on the other end because that's lame. So don't do it.
Okay, I hope that clears everything up. If anyone has questions, you can come up and ask in the Discord.
Yes,
but
please feel free. Yeah, I know that there's quite a few steps here, but we try to make this as easy as possible. And like I said, best case is just to not do anything. If you feel a little bit confused, we can help you out later.
Yep, exactly. Okay, cool. What else we got? I think there's actually 2 more cult questions that I missed. So I'm gonna hit those real quick. Nico2626 is asking, for all the Ronin and would-be Ronin holders, thoughts on Ronin Village being at the center of the bamboo forest hidden in secrecy. Okay, so Nico, I'm not 100% sure what you're saying, because here's what's really fun. There is a warrior in the Forgotten Runes Warriors collection. The head, I think, is called like Ronin Warrior. And so I don't know if you're referring to the Ronin Warrior holders or just general Ronin community. Either way, everything named Ronin, yes, lives in the bamboo forest, and it's very secret. Of course, we're talking about it now, so it's not that secret. But I won't tell you where in the bamboo forest it is. So yeah, Nico, you're 100%. Yeah, whatever. Anything Ronin is in the bamboo forest. So let's just
Yeah.
say that.
I think it means both. Honestly, the Ronin people have been coming. I think they have been picking out the Ronin bodies and heads. I think that they caught wind that there's a Ronin characters in the Warrior collection. I've noticed that they've been kind of fetching a bit of a premium lately. So I definitely the Ronin crowds going around them. Great head and body, by the way. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Nico's confirming that's what he means. And by the way, that's yet just another fun Ronin side effect I've been noticing is they've been buying up all the Ronin traits in the Warriors collection, which is so much fun. And yet another example of quantum synchronicity. Okay. Meeple Dad is asking, he says, okay, we're crafting a world, a whole universe. What is the most important piece of lore related wisdom that you would like to share with new community members who are starting out creating for the Runeverse? Okay, there's tons of pieces of wisdom that I would give, but I'll pick one right now, and then I think Ponyboy actually has a piece of lore that he would like to share, which is yet another way to approach it. But yeah, I'll tell you mine. I think one of the best things that any creator can do, whether they're writing a story or making a piece of artwork, is just think about your own life, your own experiences. What makes you you? I mean, that's what I really try to do with the Runeverse itself and all the meta lore. I try to like figure out where the creative overlap between the Runeverse and our real world is, and you can apply that to your own character stories. You know, that's what makes us all of us unique human beings, is we all have our own unique stories. We all have unique identities, and if you can look at your life story and wrap it in magic, then I think like that's a really great place to start to write for your character. That will almost ensure that you're making a really unique, original story. It'll feel more real to you because you'll have that life experience informing it. And honestly, I think people will most enjoy reading that because it'll be unlike anything they've read before. So yeah, so just pull from your own life experiences. That's where the magic inside you is. But I would say maybe a second piece is I think when people write lore that incorporates more than just their own character, when it really looks at the map and tries to bring places into the map into the story, when you use friends and other cult members in your lore, when you use your familiar and Athenaeum items and Watcher's rings and a bunch of different elements, and you bring it all together in one big piece of lore, then I think that's another really great thing to try to do. And I think one of our cult members has recently done just that. Tad, who just did that?
Yeah. So you were right. That was Ponyboy that just wrote a really, really good template for kind of like crafting lore. I thought it was really fun for a lot of different reasons. I think it's important with your lore that your character is memorable and has significant challenges and adventures, but isn't super overpowered or isn't like this godlike deity that's walking around in our world. Um, so Ponyboy wrote a really great sequence of lore. I'll drop the link in the tower now. No, I can't. I'll do it after I talk about it. But he bought a really cool wizard that had a very rare trait. It's called the Venus flytrap. And so his story starts with his character as a youth. It outlines a little bit of her background, where she's from. It kind of sets some location lore, and then there's a little adventure that happens where they end up encountering and locating their prop, which is this Venus flytrap. And then the bond that builds between these two leads them into some different adventures. Along the way, they bump into this magical cat that used to be a familiar of a wizard that died trying to swim out to the sea kelpie lair. And then the trio then travel on to the secret tower. Along the journey, he uses a lot of really great location lore. Using the Runeverse map, they travel across a desert scene. They get into a forest. They encounter a green wizard. They go to the Green Wizard City, eventually traveling on from there onto the Yellow Wizard Riviera. They get on a boat, go over to Alistar's Keep. From there, hike to the Secret Tower. And it just to incorporate all these different elements of the Runeverse is kind of like the ideal situation. Obviously, Ponyboy's been with us for a while, so has like a good understanding of some of the different narratives around some of those locations. But utilizing it in that way really just connects the story back to the Runeverse itself, and it really makes it that much more tangible and believable. Some of the things I really loved about the way that he created this story is that there were Athenaeum items that were featured in different ways. One of the powerful villains in the scene is actually wielding one of the Rainbow Watcher rings. There's a shadow that's possessed a person at a certain point, and then actually goes after the hero. And to save herself and her friends, she decides instead of turning to the shadow, she'll dive into the sacred flame. And he actually used a sacred flame to then burn that wizard. And the wizard became Ethereal Spectre, Echo of the Hell Chamber, which was also a perfect name because she's actually the guardian of the Temple of the Abyss, which is a place that houses the wayward souls that can't find their way on from this realm. So it was such a good use of different character tokens. There's some warriors in the final fight scene that are actual tokens that he owns as well. And just the way that all of them, they weren't just thrown out as references just to say like, oh, this is also something I have, or this is also a token. They were really like blended in, and they all had personality and they all had reason to be included in the adventure. But when I get done talking, I'll get a better link so I can drop it in the tower. But it's like a 6-7 part series. It's really well done. It's not that long to read through, but there's always a lot of people asking like, where do I start, or how should I write lore? What are the best ways to do it? And this is just a great template. You don't need to do exactly this, but it uses location lore, it uses item lore, it uses different character collections, it even uses a sacred flame at some point. So I have to tip my hat to Ponyboy. This is like kind of the ultimate utilization of all the different aspects of our collections to create such a strong piece of lore. So that was my favorite thing that's come out in the last couple of weeks. It's been really a really good read.
Yeah, it was a hell of a thread, Ponyboy. And I gotta comment specifically on the warrior Rizia, Incinerator of the Cataclysm. That is a badass warrior. I mean, pretty much any warrior with a flamethrower is badass, but this one in particular, she is hot, and by that I mean temperature hot. Um, but yeah, check out Ponyboy's thread because he's got like every he's got a piece of artwork for every entry and every character. But
that's actually a good segue to something else I wanted to bring up. Ponyboy also, as part of this story, requested from the Ministry of Art, which is a sub-council of the House of Wizards, our DAO here at Forgotten Ruins, to create a piece of art around the story to feature all the different characters and to help visualize them in ways outside of just their pixel representation. So for those of you who don't know, the Ministry of Art is a subchapter that approves small amount proposals to do different creations around Forgotten Ruins assets. It could really be any type of thing. It could be a story, it could be a video, an animation, a still piece, but we're accepting animation or accepting proposals every month. This month we will accept through the 21st, which is this coming Sunday. And then we'll close. The council will decide on the proposals that we're going to fund for this month. And then we'll reopen on August 1st. An important reminder, we're pushing most for smaller scale projects, so more people have an opportunity, both as creators and as receivers of these art pieces. So an ideal project would be in the range of $300 to $500. One time a month, we're able to go for something as high as $1,500. But I do caution you, if everyone goes for that top level, we can only approve one a month. So all the rest of them will get pushed to the next month, and you'll be back in the competition with the rest of the people that are there. So do, feel free to reach out to me if you want more details, or search some more info on the House of Wizard DAO announcements. And that's all I had for that. But then I also wanted to highlight a community member that was working on a project. Is this a good time to maybe bring up Sterling to talk about his thing?
Yeah, and I think Sterling's already up here. So yeah, go ahead, go for it.
Yeah, Sterling, go right ahead.
Hey, what's up? Thanks for having me up. Before I really get into it, I'm a diehard wizard head. I've had a wizard for a couple of years now. I love what you guys are doing, and a little bit of alpha. I'm working on making a soft vinyl toy of my wizard, like Japanese sofubi style. It's going to be like a bitchin' designer toy that I'm going to make available, and
I can't wait to see that.
yeah, it's gonna be awesome. A friend of mine runs like a toy making company. He's been doing it for a while, and it's gonna be like really nostalgic and kind of retro. Like if you've ever had one of those old like Godzilla toys where the plastic is like kind of squeaky,
Yes.
it's like
Yep.
that kind of vibe.
I love those. That's great, man. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. But yeah, besides that, I just shipped this project called Brainworms on Base. It's been an insane push, and I love the game that Forgotten Wizards built, but like you can definitely tell that I'm a one-man army and that you guys have like a massive team building like a full-on game. But the game that I built is more like a turn-based RPG kind of thing, but all the battles happen in one transaction because I didn't want people kind of going back and forth. But yeah, the whole thing's built around this sci-fi company I'm running. It's kind of like an alternate reality company called Dell Complex that has sort of a blend between being like real and fictional, and yeah, it's been a blast. If you do stuff on Base, it's actually free to play. The token, you can buy a worm right now and like check it out, but there's a guest mode. You can just like pop in and fool around and yeah, check it out. I think it's pinned on my profile, but yeah, the other thing I'll say is like the instant Ronin wallet sounds awesome, and I've been screwing around with Base's Coinbase's like smart wallet, and I feel like there's a big move in the industry to just like click here to create a wallet, use Touch ID, boom, you have a crypto wallet, and then like the chain pays a little bit of gas so you can like get started. I feel like that kind of thing is gonna be huge for onboarding people, like trying to just sort of make that like seamless, and just getting the UX down, I think is huge, and we're finally starting to see it.
Sterling, I'm looking at these brainworms. They look really cool. Did you make these procedurally, or how did you make them?
Yeah, so it's kind of like Schizo. The whole project is totally on chain, so it's almost like an art blocks project where the brainworms are being generated with like JavaScript on chain, and then the thumbnails are all on chain, and then the combat system's all on chain. It's just this like massive web of 7 or 8 smart contracts, and then like a little like computer console website you can click around on and interact with it.
And the worms are 3D. These look so cool.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, the worms are 3D. They're little 3D models. You can like download them and view them in AR if you want to. I was trying to go for like that scene in the Matrix where Neo has like the bug ripped out of his stomach, and like that kind of like gross out vibe. But they're also like a little cute. They have like a goofy cuteness to them at the same time.
Oh man, I want a brainworm. These are great, man. I love them. So okay, so they're minting right now on base. Is that how I can get one?
Yeah, they're live on base. It's an ERC 404, which like basically means it's a meme coin and an NFT at the same time, which like is kind of confusing for people, but I feel like it could be a huge standard in the future of just like everything being both types of tokens.
Sure. Yeah. Well, just from an art direction perspective, these brainworms are just beautiful, man. Yeah, I love it, and I love the little video you made to go with it. Like, it looks like these I'm going to say professors or scientists who are talking. They're all AI generated, which really kind of lends to the whole aesthetic and narrative. I mean, they are AI generated, right? Are they real people?
Yeah, it's AI generated. The whole
Okay.
like corporation is kind of inspired by my years
Yeah.
of working at Apple and the Bay Area and kind of like the boring dystopia of Sunnyvale and Cupertino.
Perfect, man. That's really cool, man. This looks great. I can't wait to dig into it.
Yeah, this is really cool. I'm taking a look through it, and I just was watching the video on silent here. I'll go back and get the audio later. The worms are really reminding me of this super cool thing that I've seen before. There's a guy who makes Resident Evil themed replica pieces, and he will take like capsules and create like little symbiote monster things inside of it, or like blood vials. Sterling, I'll send you a link just in case you want to try and connect with the person and get something physical made, and yeah, take some content with it.
Sterling, you need to get RFK to do a little promo piece for you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Oh my god, it's so perfect.
Just about to say the same thing. I was literally going to say the same thing. Like, but actually, when he said the name of the project, I was like, "Is this an RFK project? Like, is it inspired by RFK? Like a meme?" Like, at first, I was expecting like a 10K project of like RFK with like a bunch of like brainworms and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, okay, actually, this is better." But
yeah. That's good. Well, cool, Sterling. Yeah, thanks for sharing with us. And you have been in the cult for a long time. I know you've been up here a few times in the past. So happy to talk about your project.
Yeah, thanks for having me up, man.
Hell yeah. And then Tad, Meeple, what is Meeple up here, or should we mention what Meeple's got going on?
yeah, he's got the next box coming, right? The next treasure trove. That sounds real good.
Yes.
Yes. So I know he has the treasure trove coming up, and I'm not certain, but I think what he was wanting to speak about. Oh, come on up, Meeple.
There he is.
He's making some cards, and he can tell you a lot better than I can. Meeple, give it a rip.
Good afternoon, Wizards. Today is an auspicious day indeed. We've been at it a week since Rona. I can't believe it's only been a week. This is so crazy. So I wanted to jump up and just talk quick treasure trove update. We are building the community treasure trove, and I need help from all you folks who've had amazing artwork commissioned over the last several years or getting artwork done. Maybe you're doing it yourself. And if you want your character tokens included in the trading card collection that we're launching, jump on. I'll pin it up at the top of my Twitter. There's just a little form you fill out. Tell me a bit what's your character ID, what their name is, and then share the artwork that you want included in the trading cards. The one side of these trading cards is sort of this really fun, sort of retro style trading card, sort of reminiscing back to an original Magic the Gathering card that Feckless and VMark are helping me build. And then the backside is going to be the custom artwork of your character. So people are going to open these packs, they're going to see your character in the pixel side, and they're going to flip it over and see the custom artwork you've gotten built. And it's just going to be so much fun. So jump on in, but we need a bunch of these people. We need a bunch of these character tokens and this artwork submitted to build out the collection. So jump on my Twitter. I'll pin it up to the top there. Fill out the form. I'll spam it in the Discord. It's also in the art and lore side of the Discord there. So we'll get it all done and build some amazing stuff together. hit me up anytime.
Okay, Meeple, I'm definitely going to submit the Black Goat. And I can't imagine nobody not wanting to do this. So what if you get like 500 entries? Are you going to make 500 different cards?
So there's room in this first collection for 84 total cards. If we get more than we can handle, we're gonna have to sort of curate it a little bit. But don't if there's that much demand, I can't imagine this is the only set. So Feckless and VMark and I are producing all 27,000 character tokens as the one side of the card. So those will all be done in one big batch, and we'll just have a giant library of them. So then we can just rip off new cards every time we get another collection built, every time we get another treasure trove going. So yeah, fill it out soon, because I am going to take people who submit early as part of sort of the priority. Just sort of a first come, first serve, and then we'll have to curate the collection if we get over 84 cards, and we'll go from there. Cross that bridge when we get there.
I love it. Yeah, so it's in Asana form, right? I think I just found it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a little Asana form. Treats it just like a little Google form. It just makes a little task for me on the other end, so I can reach out to you if there's any questions about layout or anything like that. And one thing I do want to stress is that, I love playing with the AI art tools. I have a ton of fun with them. This project, this aspect of the treasure trove this is about celebrating human artists. So please find those commissions. And there is actually an opportunity if you want your character included, but don't have custom artwork produced already. Just let me know. Fill out the form anyway. Click the buttons, because I've got Shadow on deck sort of waiting to do some customs for people who want a custom artwork done of their character but don't have it done yet. So there will be an additional fee for that, because we have to commission Shadow to get the custom artwork done. But he does a really fantastic job, and he's sort of building. There's going to be some extra secrets for people who sign up for that. So that'll be a ton of fun. Do that.
Love it. You're speaking to my human soul, Meeple. But I will say, I think there's a lot of cult members who are so good at AI art, we can't tell. It passes the Blade Runner test. So yeah, so we might get some AI art in there anyway. I mean, I don't know. You're the judge, but I'm just saying.
You know what? If DAOX Lab sneaks one in
That's
and
who I'm
credits
thinking
himself, he himself is an artist in his own right with those tools, and I don't want to downplay that. So I think there are people who are genuine artists with these tools, and I want to appreciate them too. Yep. So, well, there might be a little bit of blending. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, it's so you read my mind, Meeple. DAOX Lab is so good with it. Like, I can't tell where the machine stops and the human starts. He just makes such good stuff with it. Matt, you got your hand up.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we have a really good question actually from Give a Hoot regarding the migration, and I thought that would be great to actually say it on the spaces rather than just
go for it.
Answer them, because I'm sure there's other people who have this. So Give a Hoot says, what if I have quantum gifts in a wallet that I never plan on connecting to an account? I have been buying on a secondary wallet that I didn't plan on connecting to a Runiverse account. So this is a great question. So this is going back to the way that we're migrating to quantum gifts. Just to reiterate, the account that the wallet is current if your quantum gift, whatever wallet your quantum gift is in, that's the wallet that's going to credit an account with. So if whether it's currently attached to account, that's the account that's going to get it, or if it's not attached to account, the next account that it's attached to will get those quantum gifts in game, and then from within the game you can mint them on chain on Ronin, and then you will have them as an NFT again. So Give a Hoot's question is, if I bought them on secondary and I don't want to connect to a wallet, how do I get those gifts? So the way that we're doing this migration is you will be required to connect into some game account so you can mint them. I would say if you want to maybe consolidate those into like your main wallet, and you don't want to connect that new wallet, right? I would say probably create a new account and just mint them. I think you can mint as soon as you finish like the tutorial, which only takes maybe like 5 minutes or so. I'll double check. And then you can just mint them and just you can kind of like leave that side account as like a burner account or whatever. This is only for the migration aspect of it, right? I don't think we plan on really having this kind of event again. So like unfortunately, this is just the most frictionless way we can have to get the quantum gifts off of L2 onto Ronin, because there's no like direct bridge or anything, and we don't want people losing their assets or anything. So I think the best way to approach that would be create a new account, complete the tutorial, mint your quantum gifts, and then you can consolidate into your main. You can send them to your main wallet and continue with them there. I would say that's probably the best bet for people who are in Maple's. Give the Hoots situation.
All right, Tad.
Oh, hey, I also forgot to mention regarding the DAO that it is currently election time. So you have the opportunity by snapshot, if you are a token holder of Forgotten Ruins, to vote for an incoming wave of counselors for the DAO for the House of Wizards. You can find a link in the DAO announcements channel, and voting is going to be live until Monday, July 22nd. So you have a few more days, but there's Twitter Spaces up that you can listen to on the House of Wizards Twitter profile if you want to hear some of the answers from the candidates about different questions and some of their thoughts. But we haven't had as much participation as we hope. So please do come in and vote for who's going to be helping direct this council.
Are there quorum requirements that people should know about? Like, are we at risk that not enough votes come in to actually bring anyone in?
Oh, that's an excellent question. I don't actually know if the elections fall under a quorum as well, but that's possible. So definitely, even if you're on the fence or you need to divide your votes between people, please do vote. We do have requirements at times that we meet a certain threshold of token holders voting for different proposals for them to get through. So that could become important.
Even if there aren't quorum requirements, let's tell people they are so they get their butts together and go vote. Go vote.
So
There you
true. Go vote, everybody. And also, just to point out regarding voting, we actually added recently like a delegation to our snapshot. So if you want, you can't do it for this block because I think unfortunately it was added on this. I mean, and if you aren't delegated before snapshot goes up, you can't delegate while that vote is up. So like for this current vote, you can't do it. But for future votes, if you ever feel like maybe you have your assets in different wallets and you don't want to collect all of them, or maybe you have a trusted community member that you would rather just allocate your votes to them instead. You can always delegate your voting power to either your side wallet or a community member that you trust, and they can vote on behalf, or you can vote on behalf of all of your assets from one single place. So that's something to point out. If you ever felt like you're overwhelmed with the voting process, perhaps that eases it a little bit. And also, we are introducing, starting with this vote, actually, it's anonymous voting in the sense of whatever you vote for, your vote will still be public that you voted, but what you voted for will actually be private until the vote is actually passed. So if you ever felt like maybe there was pressure that you didn't want your whatever you voted on to be public, and maybe if you felt like you'd be judged by friends or whatever, that's going to be private. Or maybe if you felt like you'd swing the vote some way, if you voted because you have a huge voting power, it's going to actually be private until the vote is actually complete. So those are two new introductions that we've added recently to the voting process, and hopefully those help make things a lot smoother for everybody, and makes things a lot more comfortable for people, whether you have a lot of assets or you just don't feel comfortable with your vote being public. So. Oh, the question from the main account?
Oh, less a question. And I was just going to tack on that while we're talking about processes and making things easy, we just dropped a wonderful flow chart that will help you understand how to create a Ronin wallet and play Forgotten Runeverse. It's pinned to the top of this space, also in our Discord. So go check that out if you have any questions. Anything beyond that, hit us up in Discord and we'll get you squared.
Snowflake, hello.
Yay! Hey, how are you doing? Been busy between events and conferences, but hey, like I kind of like was setting up some DAOs, was in the founder circle, and it was like almost 3 years of experience. I noticed something about voting. Um, like when it's have like summer or like vacation, like big holidays between like spring or fall or like winter, like people don't really have a lot of participation, and it's kind of like more difficult. Like one of the DAOs we were setting up, it was like at the end of August, and we have to like hold town halls. And then we had major participation with like mid of September hit, and then it was like 2,000 people on call. But before this, it was like maybe 100, maybe 200, and they were very engaging. It feels like they were like on vacation, just having their phone on the side listening. And this is one of the things. So don't worry if you have like low participation right now. The importance is like it's something that you have to do, and it's there. And what helps also, like if you have something longer time, so people like if they're like 2 weeks somewhere or 1 month away, like they can set up a specific time within 2 weeks to go and vote or participate. Like when there's some gaming going on, like doing like some activation on the weekend, sometimes you feel like a very low participation. But like when you have like entire 2 weeks open to participate in gaming, and you don't have like rewards by amount of time participating, instead you have rewards by like the quality of participation, then you have like more people actually hopping in, and they don't feel like left behind just because they have to miss the weekend with the family, or they had to like do something in the middle of the week, and they like really feel inclusive. And Forgotten Ruins
Yeah,
Prison
thank
doing
you
very
very
well.
much. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's helpful. That's helpful. Yeah,
Yeah.
so this voting cycle will be going for close to 2 weeks, maybe 3. So I think we've got plenty of time. We've got plenty of time for everybody to vote, and everybody should. You've got time. You've got until next Monday. So pull out your wallet, make the snapshot vote. It's really important that we have kind of like our best foot forward, and really all of the candidates that are up there are incredible. So yeah, everyone needs to place their vote. Go to snapshot and do it.
I wanted to ask Snowflake if all that was coming from related to the ape DAO, her experience with ape DAO. Is that what she was comparing it to?
I'm not sure.
Because then I was going to launch into a fun story about last time we dealt with ape DAO.
Don't make me dig up the memes.
the legendary space we had with Machi one night in the ape DAO.
And that was like pre me joining the team too, so I was even more unhinged.
Oh man, that was great. I missed the ape DAO. It's too bad they didn't vote our proposal in. Everything would be so different.
It's for the best.
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
Turn your head 10 degrees to the right. You dodge a bullet. Changes the course of history.
Wait, Snowflake is back. Snowflake, were you're from the ape DAO, right?
Yeah, I'm from several DAOs. So I'm on the white
Okay.
paper for the Mantle DAO. I'm one of the founder circles of organization and setting up the Boston DAO.
Gotcha.
ApeCoin DAO, I'm from day zero. So before even we had VG0 stewards, that was unpaid stewards, that I became one of them. Basically working, and not being paid, just like volunteering my time. Like before this, I was just like full participants. There.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're almost. I mean, we're over time, but how about we do? Are you guys ready for it? The Cult Content Chronicle, compiled by
the illustrious
Tanya Del Rio.
Every damn week.
Damn week. All right, pretty good. We got.
Look at us. We can do this.
Yeah,
We don't even need Bearsnake.
We just needed Bear not to be present.
Exactly. When Bear's gone, everything goes so smoothly. Okay, let's jump right in. Number 1, Jason DeSante, who is best known for his daily Dancing Wizzy videos, shared a link to an interactive game featuring Sharon's Galatea and Litho. And actually, yeah, Jason made this game. It's very cool. I think Dota or what someone was sharing this in the Magic Machine Discord the other day.
It's really fun. It's really fun. It's one of the things that's really great about it is that it's like a choose your own adventure, but with like buttons. And so like as you go through, you just all you got to do is just read and press a button, and it's an inspiration.
Yeah, very cool, Jason.
I think it's actually AI powered, so I think like it generates a story as you keep on going through. I may be misremembering the details, but I think that's really cool. Regardless of whether it's AI powered or not, I think it's a really cool concept to be able to have somebody's lore as a choose your own adventure thing or inspired by their lore.
Yeah,
agreed.
Yeah, love it. Very cool. Okay, Legatus shared his latest comic commission by Shadowy 30 of the two adorable wizards, Bullock and Krill. I say it every time, but Shadowy, these comic strips you're doing is probably my favorite work I've seen come out of you. You're so good at comic strips, man. It's just I think it's your medium. And this particular one features a Cucum dog, and it looks like a little hero of Cumberland as well. Very cool.
It's the Cumber Dome. They're fighting it out in the Cumber Dome.
Yes, that's what it is. Perfect. I love it. Okay, Meeple Dad shared. Speaking of Shadowy 30, Meeple Dad shared a commission from Shadowy 30 of his wizard. And then Shadow also shared just a fun little sketch of. It has the Runiverse frog saying "Join the cult." Clooney the Rat continues building for Nifty Island. Man, this cathedral that Clooney is building is just gorgeous. It's like got like a little fun jump effect or a jump mechanic built into it now. Really well done, Clooney. And then Tad, did you animate this thing for Shankara?
Yeah, I shared a similar one that I'd made, I don't know, a couple of years back, and it had some of the same. It had the gold chain trait, so I posted it and he loved it. So I just made one for him to kind of invite a new Ronin into the cult.
Nice.
Yeah, it was super fun to make. The making lyrics with Udio has become like one of my joys in my pastime. When if I have the ability, it's just so it takes a while to get them to hit right, but when you really get the right selection and you write it out in a way that flows well, it's just so satisfying.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, Udio is super fun. Yeah, well, and Tad, and then number 8, you've got I'm trying. Yeah, just like another animation you made with a tune that you made on Udio, right? Is that right?
Yeah, same concept. I just used a little bit, kind of blended it into Premiere and did a little bit of video editing along with just the pixel animation. But yeah, again, it's just fun to mix different medias to get music and animation and then some post production into it. So super fun, kind of making these things for some promotion, but also just for love of the cult.
Hell yeah. Brennan.eth was voted by the DAO to create a board game a few weeks ago, and so we're seeing some progress on that. We are seeing the actual art for the game board, which is made by our friends at Pixel Shop. Guys, how amazing does this game board look?
So good.
It's so good. Yeah, Sumi's from Pixel Shop shared it with me like a week or two ago.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Dodie.
It's like
sorry, Dodie, you're cutting out a bit, but I think you said it's incredible. All right, yeah, we got the orange heart from Dota, yeah. And then speaking of DAO projects, Fabula posted an update on a TTR RPG project, also with Pixel Shop, I think. Yeah, it looks fantastic.
It is with Pixel Shop, and I'm helping with some of the direction of the art, and it is so good. We've got a lot that we haven't shared yet, but some of the sceneries and the backgrounds are just incredible. It's going to look so good in a little adventure.
Yeah, Pixel Shop is so good at nailing that 8-bit NES style with like the limited color palette and just really clean pixel art. I just love it. The iconic wizard Two Crows is back with some new art, everybody. Okay, I just got to do it. Two Crows is back. Yeah, and so he's given us some fun art. He says it was a gnarly spell. I think that the word spell has a double meaning here. It's spell as in a length of time that he was gone. But yeah, welcome back, Two Crows. Happy to see you, buddy. And then somebody made a really interesting video. How they made a Watcher's ring in real life. Zebra No Wood. And what's interesting is I think this video is actually kind of old. It's not brand new. Somebody did this a long time ago, but I think we're just now discovering it. Yeah, very cool. Real life Watcher's rings. Hell yeah. Markafine. Just Markafine's artwork always blows my mind. This latest Soul art is so good. Yeah, it was a commission for Code Nino. So well done, Mark Fine. Feckless Mage. This thing is hilarious. It's basically a Nightmare Impling as Donald Trump. And I got to say, of all the 7 legendary beasts, Donald Trump, I think, is mostly like the Nightmare Imp. So it's a perfect blend. And then I made, I'm back on my dancing whizzies. So I made Malevolent do a little dance with death. And then Crucifor, I've got yours coming up next. But yeah, it's an NFT on Tezos. It's only 5 Tez, guys. And it's an edition of 10. So
Do people still use Tezos?
man, I don't know. I mean, there is a little bit of action still happening over there, but it's calmed down a bit. But it's a good question, Dotta. Apparently the California DMV is using Tezos.
What in the heck?
Nice. The DMV
Hell
chain.
yeah.
DMV chain, that's
It's Tezos art and the California DMV. That's it.
maybe the California raisins too. Maybe they use it.
Okay, and then Tanya put my cassette tape in there. Magical Melodies of the Runiverse, Forgotten Media. Found that on eBay. Daniela Illustra, always with a piece in the Cult Content Chronicle, continues to work on the comic. And it looks like Two Crows is featured in this comic. So maybe that's why Two Crows is back from his spell.
So sorry, I just want to cut in just a tiny
sure.
bit and help with a little clarifying point. This is actually not the original owner of Two Crows, but the buyer who picked up that token. And one of the really cool things with this situation that we're seeing is that this new owner has taken the lore of Two Crows and fully embraced it and is continuing it on to the future. So if there's one thing to be said for our collection of lore over time and what you can do with previous things made, this is such a great example. And just a small anecdote for myself, I was just searching on Twitter the name of a soul that I hold, and I found artwork that Oz had made prior to Burn that I never knew existed. So if you hold some tokens, it's worth going out there to search a little bit and see if anything pops up.
That's so badass. I mean, it's like Two Crows isn't back, but he is back. The wizard lives forever. I mean, just imagine like in 500 years, who is going to own our wizard and continue the legacy? That's a really fun thing to think about, and we're already seeing glimmers of that happening right now. Okay, let's see what else. Where did I leave off? DAO X Lab. DAO X Lab. We were giving you props earlier in the show. This piece you have made recently is just gorgeous. I think it's one of my favorite pieces I've seen. Here's what I really like about DAO X Lab's work is I think a lot of it is AI generated, but a lot of times when you generate like a wizard with AI, it'll miss like certain traits or it'll add traits that are not supposed to be there. But DAO X Lab has such control over the medium that like he's just nailing all the traits in every piece that he creates. And this flaming skull recently is just so good looking. I love it.
If I recall correctly, that's also the flame-headed wizard that has a mural, and maybe it's in Texas.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, yep, for sure. I recognize all the traits. Yeah, Adept Fire Eater of the Gnostics. That is the one. Okay, speaking of returning, Lucas Spataro is back in the cult. Everybody, let's do it again. Let's go. Here.
Let's go, Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas made me a really fun. I'm gonna say sculpture of my wizard maybe over a year ago now. But yeah, the Pantheon Vidalis, Hall of Patrons. Those were some epic pieces, Lucas, and I hope to see you continue with the Pantheon. Igdual. Igdual is continuing with his legendary wizard, just a beautiful wizard. Igdual has just been making some really great art with their wizard lately. And then, of course, Meeple Dad, as we just spoke about, is hard at work on the treasure trove. And I encourage everybody here to go submit their wizard to get made into a card. I'm definitely going to do it. Let's overwhelm Meeple Dad with our wizards. He's got 88 spots. I want to see 800 spots being claimed. Matatsuki is letting us know that his Book of Lore page is updated with a lot of new artwork. Matto, I feel like you have more commissioned artwork than anyone in the cult. Do you think that's maybe true?
I'm pretty sure. I think I can take that title. Yeah. Quite a few commissions. Yeah. I mean, like, it's like I usually commission so many works that like updating them individually tends to be pretty tedious. So like I kind of do them in waves. I think like maybe like every few months if I have like a solid collection of new artworks, I'll throw them in the Book of Lore. And then on the top of my lore entry, I also have like a Google Drive that I kind of like update all the time. So that way it's just like, a constant. If anybody's interested in like new works that aren't in there, they'll be there. But like very happy to always support artists and very happy to have Magus Devon in so many different styles and so many different expressions. So really happy with all the work that's been submitted. I just want to always try to showcase them as best as I can. So.
I love that.
We've got to get a lot of wizards in the trading card collection. Otherwise, we're just going to have 30 different variants of Magus Devon, which would be pretty cool. But let's spread it out.
Yes, please spread it out. People,
Matto, how the heck are you going to choose which piece of artwork to go on the card? You've got like 500 pieces to choose from.
Yeah, it's okay. I think I'll pick the ones that feel like they're most like the orientation of it is like most suited for like card format and like things that have like backgrounds and stuff. Those are ones I go for. So like I've narrowed it down to what I think works best for the cards. But to Meeple's credit, he did ask me to submit multiple ones for if we need to backfill and just to have some extra ones because I have so many commissions done. So always nice smart.
Nice. Okay. All right. JK NFT made a poem about their warrior, Hawk, Sword of the Jungle. Yeah, it's beautiful. You don't see too many poems about warriors. That's great. Tommy has been continuing to make some awesome gens. This time with their wizard Oz, who is also known as the Green Goblin of the Forest. That's a fun name. I love when people give like nicknames and alt names to their wizards. That's super fun. And then Metamori made a really beautiful pixel piece of wizards fishing. Man, that is just an idyllic, beautiful scene. I love it. Well done, Maury. Salty Sloan is memeing my very serious artwork, but I mean it's actually not my artwork. It's one that I found online, but she memed it nonetheless. Super fun. Bridge made a really cool piece of the two communities merging, Ronin and Wizards. Very cool bridge. Orbis generated a really cool piece of his Charlord of the Garden. Another iconic wizard, just because it's such a, I'm going to say oxymoron, a flaming skull who is of the garden. I mean, that's just a recipe for great lore. And then, of course, Ponyboy shared the lore about Hedge Wizard Aiko that we talked about early today. And then there's an update on Magic Monday news that I don't want to forget. Entropy, do you want to mention the Magic Monday news details?
Yeah, totally. So I got a note here from Wild Mage. So this upcoming Monday's episode, the special guest will be Jason DeSante. This is the person that we mentioned had made the Choose Your Own Adventure for Sharon's Wizard and Familiar earlier on. Very, very talented creator who's constantly putting out those Wizzy video dancing videos that are awesome. So tune in to listen to some stuff from him. They're also going to be doing the first week of Mad Lib lore, and they're going to show some new Ronin members in real time making their own lore. So tune in to check that out.
That is going to be an interesting one. I got to say, Jason is quite a character. I've talked to him once, and he's got a lot of energy. So I think that's going to be a good episode. I'm going to tune into that one for sure. But yeah, I think that's about it. Dotta, Matto, Meeple, Entropy, you guys got anything else to add? Tad?
There's actually you actually have to go into the comment on the 30th post there, because there's so much cult content chronicle that Tanya ran out of threads. So there's actually another 6 or 8 pieces of cult content chronicle commented on part 30 there.
Yeah, I think Twitter's lately been broken in terms of threads. There's been a lot of threads that they've just been like falling off somewhere along the lines. So I think Elon did something when he moved to Texas. When he moved to HQ.
Yeah, you're right. I'm seeing them. Okay, yeah, we got a few more. Let me hit them. Tabitha of the Marsh is going to Korea to investigate swamps, kimchi, and barbecue. All right, Tabitha. Yeah. Let us know what you find. That sounds like a great adventure. And then Justin, Other Guide Pro, made. Oh man. Okay, guys, if you have not seen any of Justin's videos, at least watch this one. It's just a reaction video to the Runeverse game trailer. It's such a simple video. It's just him reacting. You guys got to see it. It's one of my favorite ones. It's just really fun to watch. And then Erica, Babes of Cryptoland. I think this is someone from the Ronin community, maybe, who found our comic book, which I think Nalgene gave her the comic, if I remember correctly. But yeah, she's reading a little bit from the comic. So check that out. And then we've got another comic review from Andrew Saunders.eth, who gives just a really short, sweet review of the comic. And then Luke Franks, someone from the Ronin community as well, gave a really great rundown of the game. Meeple Dad gave us another Riddle in the Dark, day 198. Damn, we're almost to 200. And then, yeah, Magic Monday News. Meeple Dad was the guest last week, and then coming up will be Jason DeSante. And then, yeah, I think that's it. Okay, yeah. Sorry I missed those last ones, but I think that's it.
No, you're totally okay. It was a very packed content chronicle this week.
Man, it really was.
Got one tack on thing to the end here. Acid has asked me to remind everybody that tomorrow at 4 p.m., I believe this is PST, maybe EST? I wasn't given a time zone. DAO Spaces. PST. Okay, great. Yeah, 4 p.m. PST tomorrow. DAO Spaces to talk about community stuff, the elections, and all that. So tune into that.
Hell yeah. Okay, Dotta, anything else? Final words?
Nope. Think I'm good.
Entropy, you got that music ready?
I do, and we're not going to get rugged on it this time, I swear. And I got a little special something else in there. A recording that I clipped from somebody who's in the audience right now. So I'll play that over the top of our outro music, if that's cool.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
All right, we'll see if this works.
Okay. I'm gonna let it run for like, I don't know, 5 or 10 seconds. I'm curious.
It takes a wizard to wield magic. It takes a wizard to remember. It takes a wizard to resurrect A forgotten Runeverse.
Yes! That's the Justin video. Yeah, go watch Justin's Other Guide Pro's video. I'm serious. You're going to love it. Okay, this has been Elf, Dotta, Entropy, Matatsuki, Tad Major, Meeple Dad. Gosh, who else did we have up here? We had Sterling Crispin. Go check out Brainworms, everybody. It's very cool. And I guess that's it. Channeling out from the Quantum Downs. GN, everybody.
It's Wizard Wednesday. It's Wizard Wednesday. Kobolds and Dream Masters soar, putting their root on the door. It's Wizard Wednesday forevermore. Wizard Wednesday, lore at the core. We are a cult with a world of our own, never forgotten or magic is known. It's Wizard Wednesday. Let's read from the book of lore. Legendary wizards at the core. Don't get lost in the quantum shadow. Abracadabra is our magical manifesto. Wednesday. It's Wizard Wednesday. Eat a donut, set your soul on fire. The sacred flame on a funeral pyre. The seventh gate with golden locks. The nightmare imp with a treat box.